Hello and welcome. You're watching News Tonight with your host Rajat. Let's have a look at the top headlines of the day. Well, Parliament passes Union Budget. Rajya Sabha returns Finance Bill approved by Lok Sabha without amendments. Both houses adjourn proceedings indefinitely in view of coronavirus outbreak. Rajya Sabha records 76% productivity in budget session, approves 12 bills. Well, members in both the houses applaud public response to Janta Curfew. MPs appeal for further cooperation in fight against coronavirus. Prime Minister Modi appeals to citizens to follow government guidelines. Prime Minister Modi interacts with media representatives through video conferencing, appeals for awareness campaign to make people stay at home. PM discusses situation with industry representatives as well. And state governments take strict measures to enforce lockdown and fight against coronavirus. Punjab and Maharashtra order curfew. Domestic passengers flight services suspended. 433 coronavirus cases reported so far in the country. Global death toll crosses 15,000. The farewell given to 57 members retiring from Rajya Sabha in the next 3 months. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu appreciates their contributions. Members share their memories in farewell speeches. Well, now the news in details. Parliament was adjourned sine die on Monday as both houses curtailed their sittings in the wake of coronavirus outbreak. Lok Sabha passed the Finance Bill 2020 without any discussion. More than 40 amendments were introduced into the Finance Bill, which was moved for consideration and passing by Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Some amendments moved by opposition were negated. The bill gives effect to financial propositions of the central government for the fiscal 2020 and 21. Well, decision to pass Finance Bill without any discussion was taken at all-party meeting convened by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. The budget session was scheduled to end on April 3rd. Well, Rajya Sabha on Monday passed the bill for the budget of rupees 1 lakh crore for the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir for the year 2020-21. After passing the bill, it was returned to Lok Sabha. The upper house also approved and returned the bill to Lok Sabha, another bill for budget of Ladakh as required under rules for money bills. The bills were approved with voice vote after debate of over 2 hours. The Jammu and Kashmir appropriation bills were already passed by Lok Sabha on March 19th. The bills laid emphasis on development of newly carved out Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, which was made a Union Territory with effect from October 31st, 2019. The total budget estimates for the fiscal is rupees 1,01,428 crore. The government also presented a separate expenditure plan of rupees 55,317.81 crore for last 5 months of the current fiscal. With regard to Union Territory of Ladakh carved out from the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, the total budget estimates for past 5 months have been pegged at rupees 5,754 crore. Replying to debate, Minister of State for Finance Anurag Thakur said the government is committed for development of newly carved out Union Territories.
5-6 अगस्त को जो बिल दोनों सदनों ने पास किया, जो अनुच्छेद 370-35 से आपने समाप्त किया और 31 अक्टूबर को जो एक नया अध्याय जम्मू कश्मीर के लिए शुरू हुआ है, उसमें मैं इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं, अब एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव अप्रूवल भी होती है, 100% वेरिफिकेशन भी होती है, बजट में प्रावधान भी होता है, ई टेंडरिंग भी होती है.
Where earlier many members of the upper house spoke while participating in discussion of the bill.
सब कुछ क्या ठीक हो गया? कितने महीनों के बाद वहां टेलीफोन जारी हो, कितने महीनों के बाद इंटरनेट शुरू हो, 7.5 महीने के बाद स्कूल और कॉलेजेस खुले, और आज भी इंटरनेट आपका क्या 2G चलता है, 10-15 दिन से 4G नहीं चल रहा।
जिन बच्चों की बात की जा रही थी, जिस प्रकार से बच्चे स्कूल खुलने के बाद हंसते कूदते स्कूल जा रहे थे, जिनके हाथों में पत्थर दिया जा रहा था, उनकी हाथों में हमने कलम और कंप्यूटर पकड़ाने का काम किया है। यह 370 जाने का परिणाम है।
Kashmir's economy had suffered, this is the latest report please, losses to the tune of around 17,878 crores in the first 120 days and continue to do so. After, that is after 22 days after August and continue to do so. It also said around 4.96 lakh jobs were lost during this period as on now.
सर वहां के शिक्षण संस्थानों को जाकर के देखिए। मैं चाहूंगा कि सरकार सामान्य, जब सरकार बोलती है तो वो सामान्य जमीन पे दिखे, क्योंकि सामान्य का रिटॉरिक और सामान्य की रियलिटी ना तो सेब के बागानों में, ना बाजार में, ना फुटपाथ पे, ना अस्पतालों में, ना विद्यालयों में है।
Well, the Rajya Sabha was adjourned sine die on Monday ahead of schedule amidst coronavirus concerns. The upper house clocked 76% productivity during the budget session. 12 bills were passed and 249 public interest issues were raised in the upper house during this period. Adjourning the House sine die, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu informed that total of 249 issues of public importance have been raised by members during the session, though 170 0R and 79 special mentions. 79 start questions were answered orally on 11 days, accounting for 48% of total 165 questions listed for oral answers. And a total of 12 bills were passed by the upper house, including 6 on the last day itself. Giving details of time management, the chairman informed that total time of 14 hours and 56 minutes was spent on discussing government bills and another 5 hours and 45 minutes in private members' bill, accounting for 22% of total functional time of the House. 11 hours and 24 minutes was spent on discussing the functioning of the ministries of railways, micro, small and medium enterprises and law and justice, accounting for over 13% of total time of the House. Now, expressing concerns over disruption, the chairman also asserted that members have no right to disrupt the House as claimed by somebody, while they have a certain right to debate and discuss any issue in the House.
We all appreciate the reasons for which this budget session of Parliament is being adjourned sine die ahead of the schedule, which is up to the 3rd of next month. As against the total 31 sittings scheduled between 31st to April 3rd, we are constrained to conclude after 23 sittings. The budget session is primarily meant for charting the right course of action for economic growth and development for the financial year 2020-21 through the budget proposals made by the government and approved by the Parliament. Ironically, the global outbreak of coronavirus, which its origins in China, is set to play havoc with the global economic outlook, with our country being no exception. The challenge before the world is to minimize the damage caused by the corona outbreak, both to the health and wealth of the people across the globe. Our country is a spirited partner in the collective global efforts to contain the spread of this deadly virus. I fondly hope that collectively this battle would be won. For the information of the honourable members and for record, this August House functioned for a total of 90 hours and 30 minutes against the total scheduled time of 118 hours and 52 minutes during these 23 sittings. This in effect means that the productivity of the House, including both the parts of this budget session, has been 76.13% only. While the productivity of the first part of this session between 31st January and February 11 has been 97%. The productivity of the second part has begun on March 2nd, comes to above 64%. The House clocked a high productivity of 106% during the third week of the second part of this session, as against a low of 9.50 during the first week. A total functional time of 38 hours, 23 minutes of the House has been lost on account of disruptions during this session. This includes 32 hours, 51 minutes, so lost during the second part of the session. As against this loss, the House sat beyond the scheduled time on 9 days for a total of 9 hours, 59 minutes. Honorable members, passionate and quality debates on the motion of thanks to President's address on the general budget and over 4 hours short duration discussion on the violence in Delhi have been the highlights of this session.
Well, Lok Sabha 2 was adjourned sine die. Speaker Om Birla apprised the House about productivity of the lower house in the budget session.
जो 31 जनवरी 2020 को आरंभ हुआ था, इस सत्र के दौरान हमने 23 बैठ के आज की बैठक सहित 109 घंटे 23 मिनट तक चली। सभा ने 31 जनवरी 2020 को सदनों के सदस्यों को महामहिम राष्ट्रपति के अभिभाषण पर धन्यवाद प्रकाश को अंगीकृत किया। प्रस्ताव 15 घंटे 21 मिनट तक चले सुव्यवस्थित वाद विवाद के पश्चात स्वीकार किया गया। इस सत्र में महत्वपूर्ण वित्तीय, विधायी और अन्य कार्यों का निपटान हुआ। केंद्रीय बजट 2020-21 पर चर्चा 11 घंटे 51 मिनट तक चली। रेल मंत्रालय के नियंत्रणाधीन वर्ष 2020-21 के लिए अनुदानों की मांग संख्या 83 के लिए चर्चा 12 घंटे 31 मिनट तक चली। अन्य सभी बकाया अनुदानों की मांगों को सभा में मतदान के लिए रखा गया। 16 मार्च 2020 को पूरी तरह से स्वीकृत किया गया। संबंधित विनियोग विधेयक पारित किया गया। वर्तमान सत्र के दौरान 16 सरकारी विधेयक प्रस्तावित कर कुल मिलाकर 13 विधेयक पारित हुए। 98 तारांकित प्रश्नों के उत्तर दिए गए। प्रश्नकाल के पश्चात सदस्यों ने देर शाम तक बैठकर लगभग 436 अभिलंब लोकमत के मामले उठाए गए।
The Rajya Sabha on Monday bid farewell to 57 members from 20 states who will retire between the months of April and July. 1/3 of the members of the upper house retired every 2 years. The retiring members included veteran NCP leader Sharad Pawar, Union Minister Ramdas Athavale of RPI Athavale, Congress Party veteran Motilal Vora and former Union Minister Vijay Goyal of the BJP. Bidding farewell, Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said some of the retiring members have been re-elected, but the House will continue to miss those who will not be coming back.
Honorable members, today we bid farewell to some of our colleagues who would be retiring in the months of April, June and July this year on completion of their term of office. In all, 57 members from 20 states will be retiring in these 3 months. Honorable members, change is inevitable and is the only constant in life. This dictum is very well manifested in our constitutional scheme of things, which provides for retirement of 1/3 of the members of the House every 2 years. While it ensures that this great institution continues to exist, members as a part of the institution come, adorn the office and leave after playing their roles, thus making way for infusion of new ideas, perspectives and voices which can be heard, discussed, and which a consensus can be built up.
Well, members of both the Houses of Parliament on Monday expressed their gratitude to everyone, including medical professionals who have been working to tackle coronavirus outbreak. The members also appreciated Sunday's Janta curfew as appealed by Prime Minister Modi, lauding the efforts of medical professionals, sanitation staff, airline crew, delivery persons and media personnel. In Rajya Sabha, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu appealed to public to continue their adherence towards lockdown and taking measures against coronavirus outbreak.
Honorable members, it is expected of this August House to take note of major national issues and related developments and place on record its views on the same for record and for posterity. The panic outbreak of the dreaded coronavirus across the globe and the efforts being made to contain its spread is a major contemporary issue which the House need to take note of. The efforts of the central and state governments and the people of our country are particularly noteworthy. Yesterday was a super Sunday for our country. The voluntary curfew observed by the people of our country for 14 hours yesterday to contain the spread of this virus was unprecedented and heartwarming. The people of our country rose in unison to the call of national duty in this hour of crisis. This extraordinary response of the people was a clear demonstration of the collective resolve of the nation to address this formidable challenge. It was also heartening that a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the doctors, nurses, technicians, media, and all others who are in the forefront of the fight against the virus resonated across the country at 5 p.m. yesterday. This House takes note of this positive response and also the need to keep focused on concrete actions and keeping this spirit alive as we brace ourselves for the challenges ahead in the coming weeks. The central and state governments are doing their best to tide over the challenge. Several restrictions on the movement of the people are being imposed. This may certainly cause some inconvenience to the people, but extraordinary situations warrant extreme measures. It is important that we are agile and proactive, that we are responsible and responsive. It is critical that we respect the directions and follow them scrupulously. This House urges the people to bear with such restrictions and cooperate as they had done yesterday. The House records its appreciation of the overwhelming response of the people of the country to the call given by the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Bhai Modi, for Janata Curfew yesterday and urge them to be guided by the same spirit till the war on coronavirus is finally won. The House also appreciates the central and state governments, various agencies, for their timely and effective interventions. This House also expressed the hope that collectively we shall overcome this huge challenge in the coming weeks. Honorable members may convey their feelings and appreciation of all concerned by thumping the dust, showing our solidarity.
Well, Lok Sabha to all members, including Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman clapped in the House along with Speaker as a mark of gratitude.
माननीय सदस्यगण, कल का एक ऐसा स्मरणीय दिन था जब देश में न कोई राजनीतिक मतभेद था, न कोई मत भिन्नता थी, न कोई पंथ, न कोई संप्रदाय, न कोई अमीर था, न कोई गरीब था। सारा हिंदुस्तान एक था। कल शाम को 5 बजे हम सबने जो देखा वो भारत की आत्मा थी। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के प्रेरक प्रयासों से संपूर्ण देश एकजुट था। उनके आह्वान पर ये देश इस महामारी से निपटने के लिए एकजुट दिखा। संपूर्ण देश ने सभी डॉक्टरों, नर्सों, स्वास्थ्यकर्मी, सफाई कर्मियों, एयरपोर्ट के कर्मचारियों, पुलिस कर्मियों, मीडिया ने जिस तरीके की सेवाएं प्रदान की, उसके लिए हम सब उनका अभिवादन करते हैं। हमने ये भी देखा कि माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी हैं, उपराष्ट्रपति जी ने ताली बजा के कृतज्ञता व्यक्त की। हमारे सदन के नेता, कांग्रेस सदन के नेता अधीर रंजन जी की पुत्री हो, चाहे छोटे छोटे बच्चे हों, चाहे नवीन पटनायक जी मुख्यमंत्री हों, चाहे शरद पवार जी हों, चाहे उद्धव ठाकरे जी, कई राज्य के मुख्यमंत्रियों ने तालियां बजाकर और इस प्रयासों की सभी लोगों ने उन महान कर्मियों के लिए सम्मानित होने के लिए आभार व्यक्त किया। मैं चाहूंगा कि सदन एक बार खड़ा होकर तालियां बजाकर उनका अभिवादन करे। कि सदन के सभी माननीय सदस्य इस महामारी की लड़ाई में हम सब उनके साथ हैं। मैं ये भी आग्रह करना चाहता हूं, हम सब यहां से अपने अपने क्षेत्र में जा रहे हैं, हमें ऐसे प्रयास करना चाहिए कि सब केंद्र और राज्य सरकार, जिला परिषद प्रशासन के कानूनों को अक्षरशः पालन करें, स्वयं अनुशासित होकर हम पालन करें और इन नियमों को कठोरता पालन करने में जनता का सहयोग भी करें, क्योंकि इस महामारी को रोकने का एकमात्र उपाय सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग बनाना है। हमें अपने पास किसी प्रकार की नकारात्मक माहौल न बने, सकारात्मक रहकर हम इस चुनौती का सामना एक परिवार के रूप में कर सकते हैं।
Well, Prime Minister Modi on Monday interacted with journalists and media heads regarding the novel coronavirus pandemic. Interacting with key stakeholders from electronic media channels via video conferencing, the Prime Minister said that media should counter pessimism through panic through positive communication. He appreciated the role played by the channels in spreading awareness and asked channels to spread scientific reports, involve informed people in the discussion and counter the spread of misinformation. He also emphasized the importance of discipline from citizens in maintaining social distancing to counter the spread of virus. Terming COVID-19 a lifetime challenge, the Prime Minister said it needs to be tackled through new and innovative solutions. He also requested news channels to spread awareness about digital payment mechanism to avoid spread of virus through currency notes. The Prime Minister also interacted with industry representatives via video conference. He exhorted industry stakeholders to adopt a humanitarian approach and not to cut down on workforce in spite of negative impact on business due to COVID-19. The Prime Minister said it is imperative the production of essential items not be impacted at this time and black marketing and hoarding is prevented. He said several sectors like tourism, construction, hospitality and daily life engagements, including informal sector, have been hit due to COVID-19. Well, Prime Minister Modi on Monday thanked leaders of SAARC countries for the contribution made towards coronavirus emergency fund set up to fight the deadly disease in the region. He thanked the head of states of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Afghanistan and Nepal for the contribution to the joint emergency fund. In a series of Twitter messages, Prime Minister expressed gratitude to leaders of SAARC members, saying this cooperation strengthens our resolve in collective fight against COVID-19. Prime Minister had proposed setting up of $10 million fund to combat novel coronavirus in the region. Contributing to the fund, Bangladesh has pledged $1.5 million, Sri Lanka $5 million, Afghanistan $1 million, Nepal 10 crore rupees, Bhutan $100,000 and Maldives $200,000. India had announced an initial amount of $10 million to the South Asia Fund. Well, the Supreme Court on Monday praised the government's effort on fighting the coronavirus pandemic. A three-judge bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde said the centre has become very active in taking more precautionary measures, including increasing the number of labs for testing suspected coronavirus cases. The remarks of the bench came while hearing a batch of petitions seeking direction to centre and the authorities to take more precautionary measures, including increasing number of labs to test suspected coronavirus 19 cases. The Supreme Court also decided to seal chambers of lawyers in its premises in view of the pandemic. Only one court will hear extremely urgent matters through virtual means, it said. Now, with coronavirus infecting cases clocking 433, as many as 19 states and union territories ordered complete lockdown on Monday. 6 other states have put in place similar restrictions in some areas in the wake of coronavirus outbreak. The central government has also asked states to enforce additional restrictions if necessary. Now, as per the Union Health Ministry, a total number of 433 cases are confirmed in India. 7 have been fatal, while 23 patients have recovered completely. Both central and state government departments have deployed full measures to prevent the virus from spreading further. Union Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla also held video conference with DGP of the states where lockdown has been ordered and asked them to take strict measures in order to implement the order. As many people continued to venture out despite lockdown order, Puducherry and Punjab and Maharashtra also ordered curfew so that no one goes out of home. Prime Minister Modi has appealed to state government to ensure that rules and regulations of coronavirus lockdown are enforced strictly, as he noted that many people were not following the measures seriously. Now, all domestic commercial airlines will cease operations from midnight of March 24, that is Wednesday, in view of situation arising due to coronavirus pandemic. However, the restriction shall not apply to cargo flights. The announcement came as precautionary measures to contain the spread of deadly virus, as number of positive cases in country rose to 415 on Monday, as with at least 7 people dead. Briefing media in Delhi, Joint Secretary Health Love Agarwal said that as many as 19 states and union territories have issued orders for complete lockdown. These states and union territories include Chandigarh, Delhi, Goa, Jammu and Kashmir, Nagaland, Rajasthan, Haryana, West Bengal, Ladakh, Jharkhand, Arunachal Pradesh, Bihar, Tripura, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Punjab, Himachal, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh. He also said the chief secretaries of states and union territories have been briefed to implement the restrictions strictly and action must be taken against the violators. Now, death toll across the world due to novel coronavirus has crossed 15,000. According to latest news reports, the number of people confirmed infected with coronavirus around the world have passed 350,000. The country with highest number of confirmed infection remains China with 81,496 positive cases, followed by Italy, which is Europe's worst hit country. Italy has nearly 60,000 positive cases and the US over 35,000 cases. And Germany has 26,220 confirmed cases of coronavirus. In Spain, coronavirus death toll surged to 2,182 after 462 people died within last 24 hours, showing a 27% rise in figures released a day earlier. A number of confirmed cases in the country is little above 33,000 so far. Italy recorded a jump of nearly 8,800 deaths in just past 24 hours, following which a national shutdown has been extended. The worst hit country in Europe has seen more than 5,000 deaths due to COVID-19 so far. Iran also recorded 127 new deaths, taking total toll in Islamic Republic to 1812. Well, BJP leader Shivraj Singh Chauhan took oath as Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister for the 4th time late on Monday. Early in the day, he was elected State BJP Legislative Party leader at the meeting of the party MLAs in Bhopal. BJP's central observers Arun Singh and Vinay Sahasrabudhe to join meeting via video conferencing from Delhi. Senior BJP MLA and ex-leader of opposition Gopal Bhargav proposed name of Chauhan as Legislative Party leader, which was endorsed by Vijay Shah, Meena Singh, Paras Jain and other MLAs.
मैं शिवराज सिंह चौहान ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं मध्य प्रदेश राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा।
Well, that's it in this version of News Tonight. Thank you for watching Rajya Sabha TV.